The Complete History of Volgograd. From its foundation to the present-day introduction, Volgograd is one of the most famous cities in Russia, a symbol of courage, resilience, and military glory. During its more than 430-year history, the city has had three names: Tsaritsyn, Stalingrad, and Volgograd. It survived nomadic raids, revolutions, the Russian Civil War, one of the most devastating battles in world history, and eventually became a modern city of over 1 million people on the banks of the Volga River. Before the founding of the city, the territory of present-day Volgograd was inhabited long before the emergence of the Russian state. Archaeologists have discovered traces of ancient human settlements, Bronze Age burial mounds, and communities of various peoples. Scythians, Sarmatians, Khazars, and Mongols all passed through these lands. During the era of the Golden Horde, major trading settlements existed here, controlling routes between the Volga and Don rivers. The location was exceptionally advantageous because it lay near the shortest distance between the Volga and Don. This gave the region immense military and commercial importance. The founding of Tsaritsyn, 1589. The official founding date of the city is 1589. It was established as a fortress to protect the southern borders of the Russian state and safeguard trade routes along the Volga River. The settlement was built near the Tsaritsyn River, a tributary of the Volga, from which the city derived its name. According to one theory, the name originated from the Turkic words Tsaritsyn, meaning yellow water. The first fortress was constructed from wood and served to defend merchant caravans and river vessels from attacks by nomads and bandits. Tsaritsyn in the 17th and 18th centuries. During the 17th century, the city was repeatedly attacked and became involved in major peasant uprisings. One of the most notable events was the rebellion led by Stepan Razin. In 1670, his forces captured Tsaritsyn. Later, participants in Yemelyan Pugachev's uprising also passed through the city. To strengthen defense, the Tsaritsyn Guard Line was built, a system of ramparts, trenches, and fortifications, parts of which have survived to this day. Gradually, Tsaritsyn evolved from a military outpost into an important trading center. Economic growth in the 19th century. The city's real expansion began in the 19th century. Its favorable location between the Volga and Don transformed it into a major transportation hub. Trade in grain, fish, salt, and industrial goods flourished. The opening of the Volga-Don Railway in 1862 greatly accelerated economic development by connecting river routes with Russia's growing railway network. By the end of the century, the city had acquired factories and industrial plants, grain elevators, river ports, banks, educational institutions, churches. One symbol of this era was Gerhardt's Mill, built in 1900. It would later become one of the most famous landmarks of the Battle of Stalingrad. In 1913, Tsaritsyn introduced a tram system, becoming one of the first Russian cities to do so. Revolution and the Civil War. Following the Russian Revolution of 1917, Tsaritsyn became a battleground between the Red and White armies. Between 1918 and 1919, the city endured several sieges. It played a crucial role in defending Soviet power in southern Russia. Joseph Stalin participated in organizing the city's defense, a fact that would later influence its future. Although the Civil War caused severe economic damage, the city retained its strategic significance. Renaming to Stalingrad. On April 10, 1925, Tsaritsyn was renamed Stalingrad in honor of Joseph Stalin. During the 1930s, the city underwent rapid industrialization. Major enterprises were established, including the Stalingrad tractor plant, the Red October steelworks, shipbuilding facilities, power stations. Stalingrad became one of the Soviet Union's most important industrial centers. The Battle of Stalingrad, 1942 to 1943. The most famous chapter in the city's history is the Battle of Stalingrad. In the summer of 1942, German forces launched an offensive against the city. Stalingrad was strategically vital because it controlled traffic on the Volga River and access to the oil-rich Caucasus region. The battle lasted more than 200 days and nights and became one of the bloodiest conflicts in world history. Every building and every street turned into a battlefield. Among the most famous sites were Pavlov's house, Gerhardt's mill, Mamayev kurgan. On February 2, 1943, Soviet forces completed the encirclement and defeat of the German army. The victory marked a turning point in World War II, post-war reconstruction. After the war, Stalingrad lay in ruins. Most residential buildings, factories, and public structures had been destroyed. However, large-scale reconstruction began almost immediately. New neighborhoods, broad avenues, factories, schools, hospitals, and cultural institutions were built. By the 1960s, the city had acquired much of its modern appearance, renaming to Volgograd. On November 10, 1961, during the Soviet policy of de-Stalinization, the city was renamed Volgograd. The new name emphasized its connection to the Volga River. Despite the change, the memory of the Battle of Stalingrad remained central to the city's identity. Volgograd in the late 20th century. During the second half of the 20th century, the city continued to expand. New districts, universities, museums, and sports complexes were constructed. One of the largest projects was the Volga Hydroelectric Station, one of the biggest hydroelectric power plants in Europe. Volgograd became a major industrial, scientific, and transportation center of the lower Volga region. Volgograd today. Modern Volgograd is a city of more than 1 million residents stretching over 80 kilometers along the Volga River. Its key industries include metallurgy, mechanical engineering, energy production, chemical manufacturing, logistics, tourism. Every year, hundreds of thousands of visitors come to Volgograd to explore the sites of the Battle of Stalingrad and its remarkable historical monuments. Main attractions of Volgograd, Mamayev kurgan, the city's most important memorial complex. At its summit stands the famous statue, The Motherland Calls, which rises 85 meters high and is one of Russia's most recognizable monuments. Pavlov's house. Pavlov's house became a symbol of Soviet resistance. A small group of defenders held the building for nearly 2 months, despite constant enemy attacks. Gerhardt's mill. The mill has been preserved in its ruined state as a reminder of the fierce fighting that took place during the war. Stalingrad Battle Panorama Museum. This museum houses thousands of artifacts related to the battle and features one of the largest panoramic exhibits in Russia. Central Embankment. One of the most beautiful places in the city, it offers magnificent views of the Volga River, especially at sunset. Heroes Alley. Heroes Alley connects the city center with the embankment and honors the defenders of Stalingrad. Volgograd Planetarium. The Volgograd Planetarium is considered one of the finest in Russia and is a notable example of Soviet architecture. Volga-Don Shipping Canal. This canal connects the Volga and Don River basins and is one of the most impressive engineering achievements of the 20th century. The most beautiful places in Volgograd: 1. Embankment of the 62nd Army, a perfect place for walking along the Volga River. 2. Baku Park, a modern park featuring fountains, tree-lined paths, and observation points. 3. Tsaritsyn Island, one of the largest river islands in Europe and a natural oasis near the city. 4. Tsaritsyn River floodplain, a popular recreational area for local residents. 5. The Volga at sunset. Many visitors consider the sunsets over the Volga to be among the city's greatest natural attractions. 6. Fallen Fighters Square, the historic heart of Volgograd. 7. Komsomol Garden, a peaceful green space in the city center with shaded walkways. Conclusion. The history of Volgograd reflects the history of Russia itself. From a small frontier fortress in the 16th century to a modern hero city, Volgograd has experienced more than 4 centuries of dramatic change. Tsaritsyn protected Russia's southern borders, Stalingrad became a symbol of victory over Nazi Germany, and today Volgograd remains one of the country's most important historical and cultural centers. Its monuments, memorials, museums, and scenic Volga landscapes continue to remind millions of visitors of its remarkable past and enduring legacy.